Hi guys, welcome to People's Circus. Today you have got me, Amy. I'm on my first solo review. Normally you would have Jay here. He's kind of waving at me from over there, being my director for today. So today I have got a lovely little game to show you. It's a one-player game, plays in about 30 to 45 minutes. It's designed from 7 years and up, and it's called Eila and Something Shiny. It's currently on Kickstarter. It will finish on the 18th of July, so you've got a little bit longer to fund it. It's designed by Jeffrey CCH and released by Ice Makes. BGG have given this a weight rating of 2. I will agree, it's a very light game. Adults will get something from it because there is an advanced level, but it's mostly, I think the people who will get the most benefit from this is actually kids. Well, I'll explain this a bit later anyway. Before I get started, don't forget, like our Instagram, our Twitter, our YouTube and our Facebook. We have currently got a Patreon system running, so if you feel like you enjoy this content and you want to see more of it, please help us to get a little bit further with that. Everything is appreciated. Thanks guys. Right, so this is a one-player game. It's a very sweet little game. It's about a little rabbit that sees something shining in a wood and it's going to go off and have an adventure. It's a story-driven card game. We've actually been lucky enough to be sent this a lovely playmat. I will admit we have been sent this in advance. It is a review copy, so we have got chapters 0 and 1. In the Kickstarter, there's actually 5 chapters. Chapter 0 is effectively your tutorial level, so we're going to be running through that today. I won't run through any of the other information because I don't want to spoil the story for you guys. I actually think this is a sweet little game. And I can't wait to show it to you. So let's get dived in. So this is our lovely little playmat that we've been given. If you haven't got a playmat, the only thing that you actually need out of the board are 2 little cards. These actually show you your resources. So we have one for physical resources and non-physical resources, but these are actually printed onto our playmat today, so we're going to be using those. So Eila actually comes with little comics. So in the Kickstarter edition, should it reach its stretch goal, it actually is going to come with one big comic, but you actually have comics for your prologues and your endings to actually give you a bit more background story. So chapter 0 that we're going to be doing today is the treat. So each chapter of Eila actually comes with an objective card. These actually are denoted by the symbol for your actual chapter. And later chapters actually come with the advanced level where you require more resources and you've got less life to do it with. But we're actually going to work with the tree today because that's our starting chapter. So we're actually going to place that there. So we actually have the resources laid out on top of us. We have Eila's health, we have food, gold, magic stones, we have energy, knowledge and fear. Fear is obviously a bad resource and it actually will block and take up space within our resources, so we want to try and get rid of that as much as possible. Eila also comes with a lovely little standee for our deck that we're going to work through. And while we've got an awful lot of cards for chapter 1, chapter 0 is actually quite short and quite sweet. So at the beginning of your game, you're going to take all the green cards and they are going to go into your standee, not being shuffled on the first round. Your blue cards are blue event cards. They're going to sit to the right. Your red cards are going to sit to the left. Then you have what are called habit cards. And you have tool cards. Now these will actually be quite handy to you in the game. These are actually little benefits and level ups that you can actually do to actually help you Eila along her adventures. These are the things that can be saved after a chapter, and these will actually benefit you. You can't actually save resources at the end of a chapter, but you can save those too. So those are going to sit on those spaces respectively. So during a turn of Eila, we are actually going to make decisions from the cards that are in front of us. So we actually have 3 bare spaces right now. These represent the past, present and the future. So when we turn a card of Eila, we are actually going to make decisions. So as you can see on this one, We can choose to move it to the left, which is the past, and gain a new card, or we can move it to the right and we can put it in our future pile. When we put things into the past, they are no longer part of our day deck, so they will stay out of the game from that point. If they move to the future, they will get reshuffled in and dealt out again on the next day. So to begin with, if you just want to gain resources, it might be best just to push it to the future and keep recycling those cards. So any cards that we would take, for example, if I put this to the future, I would take my 1 food and put it in my resource. And then I would turn this card face down. Then we would move through the deck as necessary. So I have the option here of playing with the great tree or talking with the great tree. So I can either take an energy or a knowledge here. So probably best right now, given my objective for this round is knowledge, we need knowledge. So to show you this card, this is our objective card again. So during this round, Eila will have 3 health points. She has also got 7 days to complete a chapter. I'm assuming it's a she. And our objective for this round is we need 2 knowledge points. In chapter 1, we actually need more resources, get a little bit extra health, or if in the advanced side, we actually get a lot less health and we need a lot less resources. So it starts becoming more challenging for the adults out there. But right now we just need the basics. So the game will actually end once we've actually achieved our 2 objectives, or Eila runs out of health, or 7 days have passed. Now we will know 7 days have passed because at the end of the round, once we have dealt all the cards from our little standee, we then go through what is called night phase. So all of the cards section is the day phase. We then have night phase, which is effectively cleanup. So we place any resources that can complete our objectives. We spend energy, which we put onto one of these day spaces. If we haven't got the energy to put there, we will actually lose a point of Eila's health. And then we reshuffle the future deck to go into the standee and we start all over again. And that is effectively how you play Eila. So we'll just go back through. We have finished this card, so I'll just run through a little bit more just to give you an idea of the playthrough. So far I have achieved getting 1 piece of food and 1 knowledge point, and I'm going to see how far I can get with that. So we keep bringing them down to the present. So when you have a symbol like this, that actually lets you use a tool to actually get you better benefit. Currently I don't have the tool, so the only option I can take is this one. So eventually you will want to get the tools to get the better rewards. But right now I can just get 1 more food to my physical resources. I can change those at any time, so I will choose to do that now. And I'm going to put that 1 energy into my non-physical resources, so that's ready for the end of the round, so I don't lose any health points. I should have already put these on. So we do have little hearts just for Eila's health points, so we can see 1 where we start and 2 how many we've lost. So there we are. So our next card is part-time cleaner. So it'll always go into the future. I can choose to either work casually for 1 piece of gold, or I can work hard, losing 1 energy and gaining 3 pieces of gold. So at this point I think I'm going to actually spend my energy and get 3 pieces of gold should I require it. Move to the future. Next card. Now we have Mr. Deer's shop. So Mr. Deer actually allows us to spend our gold to get food or sell our food to get gold. So given that I actually do require some energy coming up for this, I'm going to spend 2 gold to get 2 food, which I'm going to trade again to get my energy. So effectively what I have done, I've effectively gone round in a circle as it so happens, because I would have ended up with my 1 gold and my energy anyway. but I would have had to take a choice on this one, so I would have ended up trying to spend it. So in the end, worked out for me. So we are now into night phase, so I can put my energy, my knowledge onto the objective space. I can put my energy onto the day phase. I'm going to shuffle up my future cards, just roughly, because there's not that many there this time. Okay. And we're going to start the next day. Take you through one more day. So we're just going to work casually for one card. So it actually does become quite quick. And we're going to take on trees. So now this card has come out again. I don't necessarily want the food right now. So I'm going to move it into the past, and I'm going to take the blue 6 card. Now blue 6 card, the blue event cards go into your future deck. Habits and red event cards go into your shuffle pile at the top, your draw pile, so they'll actually come out of that round. But next round I know I'm going to have card number 6 come out. Okay, so I'll work through. I'm going to buy 1 carrot with my gold. And then I'm going to harvest 1 carrot, choose my 2 carrots for an energy. So, no objective that I can achieve this time. I can put my energy on, shuffle up my cards, including that blue 6 now. So this is the benefit of actually having the standee. You can't actually see what card is coming next, what type of card. So we'll just pop those in there. And then we start the next round. So let's just take that 1. Oh dear. So in this card, Eila on her adventures has been hit by something, so we're actually going to lose a point of health. We're going to get 2 fear points, and we're going to put red event card number 9 at the front of our standee pile, and then it will get moved into the past. So the upshot of that is I now draw red card number 9. Hey look, I found a bag of apples instead. So it gives me 3 things of food. I get to put card 7 and card 8 into my future shuffle pile, and this moves into the past. We're now at Mr. Deer's. So I'm going to sell 1 food to get a gold. And we're at carrot harvesting, so I'll take my 1 carrot, move it across. I can't achieve the objective. I can spend my 2 food to get an energy, so that would move on to 3. Sorry, I've obviously not that card. Shuffle up these cards. And start the next day. So we're on day 4 already, so it's quite quick. So, the game will actually change a little bit as you decide to make your decisions. Let's do that. So that's actually the benefit when it comes to playing this game with children. It'll actually let them work out there is actually consequences to their decisions, whether they are helpful or whether they are not so helpful. It'll actually give them benefits or drawbacks depending on that. So we have a new card out. This is Little Owl's Bookshelf. We can choose to buy a book or we can pass it by. So I think this time we're going to buy a book. So it's going to cost me 2. It's going to give me a knowledge. And I move it into the future. Then the next card, I have a crossroad. I can turn left or I can turn right. And that will change as to whether I want to put which card in. So I think I'm right-handed, I will go right. That moves into the future. The red card goes into the front, and we draw it straight out. So the card that I've just drawn is make friends. I get to play with a squirrel. So we actually have this symbol here, which is green. So this will actually mean it will go back into the draw pile at the end of this. But it actually lets me remove a fear, and I'm going to put that back into the draw pile. Then I'm going to finish my day phase. I'm going to take 1 carrot for carrot harvesting. I'm going to change my 2 carrots into an energy. And then I'm going to pay this knowledge, place my energy, and should I wish to, I can reshuffle. At which point I have now completed my objectives. Eila has successfully completed chapter 0. So I would now be able to read my little chapter 0. So now I could read the ending to my little chapter 0 comic. And then that would be it. That's the chapter. So you can see it's pretty quick. You can make your decisions. Once you know what's kind of coming, although it's in a random order, you can almost anticipate it a little. The game can change a little bit as depending on your decisions. So chapter 1, you get a lot more cards. A lot more cards. So it'll actually let you change the game up a little bit depending on your decisions. I must admit, the first time I went through and I was really struggling. I was getting a lot of fear tokens into my little resource pile. And I was really struggling to do it. Then I changed my decisions next time I tried it, and it flew me by. And it was suddenly really easy. I didn't try it on the advanced level yet, I admit. I was just making sure I had the basics down of this so that I could try and explain it to you guys. But yeah, it was a little bit more challenging, especially if you weren't making the right decisions to begin with, or you just don't have the resources to make those decisions. That actually makes it a little bit more complicated. But yeah, I think this is a really sweet little game. I admit I'm struggling to understand the comics a little bit, but that's me personally because I don't read a lot of them. That is purely from the idea of that it's very abstract. So for me, I'm just trying to get my head around that. But I'm sure that there's loads of people out there that will be absolutely fine with those. And kids can make up their own decisions because it isn't actually that involved as to what's actually happening in that story. So yeah, I'm actually quite excited by this. This is obviously on Kickstarter now, which I've said. It's running till the 18th of July. I believe their stretch goal was about £7,000. They've actually really super funded this. It's actually gone up to £88,000. It's really taken off. It is really popular. So if you want to get in on it, I would definitely recommend it. These tools are really rather helpful. They let you get the benefits. The habit cards, I will quickly show you, let you remove fear and actually improve your stats and your resources. And I'm assuming you probably will get a few more of those in those games because we've only got 3 at the minute. And yeah, it's actually sweet. I actually like the components. I love the little artwork on it. It's really cute. I can imagine I'm not going to get a huge amount of gameplay out of it. That's the only problem. Once you've gone through the storyline, okay, you could get possible a couple of times out of it, just if you enjoy the storyline, for example, or you want to change it up with your decision making. I more sort of think this is the best sort of game that you could introduce young kids into resource management. They could really get to grips with the idea that they need to think a few turns ahead. They need to collect the carrots so they can get enough energy at the end of the day. They need to think about their health so they don't put themselves at risk of something else. And with some of the decisions, especially in the later chapter that I've played through, their decisions will actually drive the storyline. So it's their choice of whether they want to be compassionate, if they just don't have the choice to be compassionate, if they have to make that hard decision. It really, really would help kids to really work through that, and it would be nice just have them sitting there, have an adult so they could just help them through it. But it is the kids' game. There's no input that the adult actually has to put in, except for maybe explaining the concepts a little bit. And I think they would get an awful lot of enjoyment and potential, don't tell them this, learning out of it. So yes, I would actually really recommend this one, guys. It is on Kickstarter now. Check it out. I hope you've actually not been too bored by my first solo performance. So I really enjoy this little game. My husband prefers to give ratings for things. I prefer just to say whether I enjoy it or not, but I've been forced to give a rating. So for me, I would look around the 3 to 4 kind of mark. The only thing, this is obviously out of 5, the only thing that's weighing it down for me is the fact that although it's resettable and it is replayable and it's not going to change anything, so you still can have all the pieces and somebody else can play it, it's just the fact that you're not going to get a lot of replayers and adults that is worrying me with the whole system. If they came out with an awful lot more stories for this, I would be absolutely in there like a shot. I think this is really sweet. I like the past, present, future aspect of it. I like the fact that you have that discard so you can get it out of your hand, but I like that you're introducing new things that you haven't necessarily seen. Yeah, I think it's an absolutely sweet little game. So a strong 3.5 to 4 for me, just purely for that drawback, but that would go a lot higher if they brought out successive stories. So yes, this is out now on Kickstarter, like I said, 18th of July. It is coming to a close. Please check them out if you're interested. Also, like I said, please check out all our social media, including that Patreon, if you think this has actually been helpful to you. Hopefully I haven't bored you too much with my first solo review. And yeah, that's it. Take care, guys. Hope to see you soon. Bye.